who do we have here today?
Jeffrey Fox.
And what did you end up doing tonight?
I went top 8 at YCS Providence, the first format of the Alliance Insight.
Okay.
I went 10-1 in Swiss, finished 5th, made it pretty easily through top 32 and top 16 in great games, but lost out in top 8 to Pyramid Super B, which apparently is a very good event.
Do you think you misplayed in that matchup at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and there will be a written feature for anybody who wants to see my game 1 fumble and how bad I got Dougie'd on.
Okay.
Stay
And
tuned for that.
any memorable matches throughout the weekend?
Yeah, there were some crazy ones. Like I got to play against Geoff, which was really funny in my head because I have not tested this deck nearly enough. I don't know how. Like I literally just freestyled. I didn't learn any of the lines for better or worse, and I just freestyled, knowing what the cards do, knowing how they interact with each other. And it took me obviously super far. So I was like, this is ironic to be playing against Geoff because he's the spreadsheet man and does all the lines, and I'm the opposite. But we had a pretty good match that went at a time, but all good games all weekend, honestly.
So Jib, your most memorable match, I guess, through the weekend?
So today.
Yeah. How'd that match turn out?
I did win. My hands were crazy, in all fairness, and he knew that. So yeah, it was a nice little 2-0, which felt good to play into the Maliss Orchestra like that. So
Okay.
shout out to him.
Shout out to Jib. Good job. Jib also top 82, so good job. So you ready to get into it then?
Yeah, let's see it.
All right, let's see it. Let's get it.
So it's Maliss adding Nisser with all the new cards. We felt really good about the build, and basically for the Maliss engine, it's 3 March Hare. This card is crazy. Like, what I learned very quickly in testing the deck and in playing the deck yesterday was you just always want this card in your hand. It does way too much for the deck. And just having another Maliss name that's so effective, especially at extending, is just crazy.
Okay, so this card is being banned soon, huh?
I don't know about banned, but she is egregious. So
Okay.
the other stuff is a lot of more standard stuff. 2 Dormouse, 2 Rabbit, 2 Chessie. I'm not actually sure just how necessary it is to play 2 Chessie, honestly. I very rarely needed the second. On the other hand, it was nice to have all these names because I basically never won a game. I think I won 2 games without seeing a Maliss name or card that got me to a game. So I don't know, 1 or 2. 2 was fine though, obviously.
Okay.
And then the Maliss Spells and Traps, the 2 Underground and Terraforming for that.
Any changes to that?
I didn't love Terraforming, honestly, because with the inclusion of the adding Nisser stuff, it actually made Droll kind of hurt a little worse. And I never was lacking for field spell access. Either when I was, it was because I got Lanceit or something. I couldn't even get to Ransom. But Ransom is so integral now with the inclusion of March Hare that you basically always have underground access. And obviously with this card, Maliss in the Mirror, underground got way better.
A new card, right?
Yeah.
That just came out in Alliance Insight, right?
I underestimated just how good this card is. I was okay, it's something else to search off Ransom that you can set, and it's your in-engine imperm. That's pretty cool. But it's that second effect that when it's banished, you can banish any Maliss card of any type and search a copy with the same type card.
So you always have follow-up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Getting this engrave and then banishing it with a March Hare on your opponent's turn and setting up searching another March Hare for next turn, and then off your MTP or whatever, searching a Dormouse. You're just going into your next turn with so much ammo to kill. And it's just generically good. It's hardly ever a brick. Super happy with that. So back to the Terraforming, it's fine in there. I don't know if it's necessary, but it was fine because that card is so cool.
Would you ever change the amount of mirrors?
No,
in
you
the
just
deck?
need one.
Just
you can
one.
Recycle it.
Just
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once it gets banished, you just recycle it with Cryptor.
Okay.
Or if you're not able to get that far, you're probably just losing without that. And then Gold Sark and 2 Allure. The Allures were really good. I don't know. We just can't fit 3. And there are some times where you just have so many resources and you need to save names that you just can't, because you can't afford to always just banish the Maliss monsters out of your hand anymore. And saving some of their banish effects for later in combo, or if you get nibbed or whatever, is super important now. And so it was so good for digging into the deck, but I don't think we can play 3 just because we need our monsters.
I mean, the draw power in this deck is insane already,
It's
so
crazy.
why not, right?
There's just so
why
many
not?
resources.
Why not, right?
And then I did play 3 traps. So I got judged for playing that card multiple times by my opponents this weekend. And like, I'm gonna be honest, like I said, like I did not put a lot of time into testing the deck, but TB11 is like, from what I know, having played the deck before Alliance Insight, and so like this felt like a crutch, but it was actually like very good for me. Like,
yeah,
it just made it so easy to get bodies on board, and having like another trap other than these 2 to work with is just really nice, especially one that guarantees you a body.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's correct to play this. I think you should play these 2, although I'm hearing that Geoff wasn't even playing this,
Which is crazy, but
yeah, I'm curious about that.
I mean, we'll see his list. We'll see his list at some point, I'm sure. Didn't matter, but you know.
The adding Mr. cards, 3 backup, 1 wizard.
Yep.
These cards are crazy.
MVPs, right? Bistials, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, more like just generic extenders. Like Wicked being able to search this in combo to access you 3 bodies through 1, 2, 3 is absurd. Like the deck can just extend like forever. It reminds me a lot of Snake Eye, honestly, which I love Snake Eye, because we just had like layers and layers of extenders, and with March Hare and with these, like, it's just so good. So you absolutely, I think, should be playing these if you're playing with those.
Cards are broken.
So that's the engine.
Okay.
The non-engine, we ran the talents, ran the call by. Both were amazing.
I mean, it's a standard. You need those in the
Yeah,
deck,
and like
guaranteed.
especially like hitting Lancias with this is always nice. Hitting certain chummies with that, if you're gonna want to play into them, is also just really nice. The card is handy. And then 2 Bistials. We obviously like expected Fiendsmiths to kind of be power crept out of the meta, and that was pretty much true, I think, at this event. So like the Bistials lost kind of their efficacy a little bit in interruptions, and with the inclusion of Hair and like the adding Mr. stuff to extend, like you don't need them as much as engine pieces. And so I was like happy with the 2. I don't even know if they're necessary anymore, frankly. I was siding out Mag a lot against like matchups that weren't playing darks and stuff like that, and just leaving in the Druis because Druis is just
It just clears the body, guaranteed.
Yeah, and it was super helpful against Ryziel too.
Yeah,
that can't be understated.
Oh god.
And then the monster hand traps, we played 6 chummies in the main.
6 chummies in the main deck.
3 Fua, 3 Perulia.
Sexy versions too.
Yeah, they are pretty. This was really good. This was like the best choice. I think people like kind of caught on to the fact that people were going to be maining 6 chummies, up to 6 chummies. Some people are even playing 7. I think you just have to, with how much power the going first decks have right now, how much they can do if you like don't at least make them feel bad about it. Like,
if you just let them play, they play all the way.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. And we've considered the idea of like maybe these should be drolls for when you do play the Mitsurugi deck, and that might be true after this weekend, especially with how well it's performing. But like, Perulia was never bad.
No.
It's just like always going to get you value, and sometimes will even pull an Ash out of your opponent's hands.
At the very least, it's an upstart.
Exactly.
If it resolves, at the very least.
Usually better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 6 in the main.
It's good.
And then the only other like real monster hand trap was 3 Ash, and then we played 1 Nib.
Okay.
Ash, I think, is self-explanatory, chummies and generic goodness. But the reason we played Nib, because we are playing Impulse as the last 3 cards, which they kind of conflict, but
just a little bit.
Really, like, we wanted to see if we could guarantee a payoff off the chummies, because like hitting an Ash is good, hitting an Impulse is good, but like hitting a Nib when they've given you like 15 cards and it actually resolving,
it feels so good.
that can just like end the game on the spot. Because like if they're committing enough to give you that many cards that you're seeing this, they're gonna get bodied by Nib. They probably don't have a lot of resources left to like defend themselves. Even drawing it like outside of the context of Chummy, this card was crazy. Very very few people actually played around it. So we might even go up on that, like even with the impulses in the deck.
Just probably go up 2 more or maybe
like,
1.
I would like 2 to make it like more likely that you're gonna hit one drawing off of like when they give you 3 or 4 draws with a chummy, or even like 2 draws, just increasing that likelihood a little bit. And just organically putting in the hand more. I would never want to open multiple. I don't think you should ever need multiple. So I think 2 might be the right number, but obviously we gotta test it. And Impulse was crazy.
Impulse is such a crazy card.
Insane. Hitting Mitsurugi Ritual, hitting any of the Maliss names,
it's just insane.
So that's the main. It's 40 cards.
I noticed you didn't play a Crossout Designator. You don't like that card right now?
No, because we don't have like a lot of like diversity in our non-engine. Like we're not playing a lot of the cards that might hurt us game 1 or that people just might be playing. So like even if we do see it at 1, a lot of the time it's not gonna like have the coverage that we need for it. So,
okay, copy that. Clean 40?
Yeah, just a clean 40. I think it probably should stay that way too. Maybe 41.
Okay.
The extra deck is not a lot of surprises. White Binder, Ransom, Cryptor. Link Spider, it got nibbed a lot. This card is crazy, especially when you're holding like backup as your extension through nib. Like just knowing that they think they're cozy nibbing you, and you make Link Spider with a token, and then activate backup, and you're back to business.
back in action.
Yeah, like that's 4 bodies.
Nice.
For free. So
nice.
It's kind of crazy. Almirage.
On the Almirage, okay.
Yeah, and only 1 Lingery though. I don't know if this is correct. In fact, like I didn't really summon Almirage a lot at all. I think 2 Lingery is just correct.
Just correct. Just to
there
always
are, like,
have
a lot
it.
of good traps around right now.
There's trap decks that are good too.
Yeah, and Lingery was more versatile too. Like you can't use half the Malice names to make Almirage. So that's kind of a problem. Haggard. Cyber's Wicked. Obviously the way to backup card is egregious. Splash Mage. IP never made it. SP never made it.
So you think those cards are coming out the extra?
No, because I'm very like comfortable having them.
Okay.
I would like them to be there.
Okay.
It's just like I'm sure there will be situations where making them make sense. It just wasn't this weekend.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but Dark card is crazy. I played a lot of mirrors, so
it just went that resolved more than anything.
Yeah, like, and it's so much pressure. Like I got into. The best example I give it, I got into a board state where my opponent had Ransom on board and like a Cryptor and Grave, and I went dark to threaten to take the Cryptor, and he had to interact with that because
if he doesn't, it's just game.
If he doesn't, it's just game, and then I just crash into the Ransom, even if he does, get the search I need, like a pair, to continue extending a main phase 2 and get to my board. Card is great.
Insane.
Access Code, Firewall, and then I played the Allied Code.
Oh, the new one, right?
Yeah, that's the new. I really like the card. I know a lot of people are favoring like Topologic Bomber over it, which I kind of get that. Like that card's really good, especially if you can't do anything about it. But so is an Omni Negate, and so I'm kind of sucker for that. I think you could play either, or maybe even both, depending on like how you're feeling.
Okay.
That's it for the extra. The side deck we tried to keep like super straightforward. Just 3 Lancia, Maliss, obviously. Free Droll, basically like going first as a chummy stop, frankly, and going second into Mitsu. Like it needs to be somewhere in the deck.
So you just get chummied and then you let them draw 1 and then you draw them.
Yeah, because usually you can like maybe give them like 1 or 2 cards and get the only search that you need off, and then you draw them there, and that just like goes pretty crazy because then you're done searching for the turn anyway. And it's just better than like giving them 20 cards. Like,
okay.
And it feels like a neg every time you do it, but it's almost always worth it.
Okay.
And then 3 Meowls for Malice.
Okay.
I usually like go down on the Perulia to fit those in.
Okay.
Those are the hand traps we played, and then we played a thrust package. Very simple one: 3 thrusts, Duster, D-Barrier, and DDG.
Okay.
Really, this is just more ways to talents. We included the thrust because the Duster because sometimes it can be nice. But really, it's these going first cards that are crazy, like this card against White Forest, against certain Fiendsmith decks, and things of that nature. Water, Card is crazy, and Mitsu, especially if pure Mitsu picks up, like deep area is going to get even crazier.
Oh God.
But really, like accessing talents all the time is the important part of that.
Okay. So we finished what, 8th in the 8th place bracket, I guess.
Yeah, top 8.
Top 8, and that's the deck list, huh?
Yeah.
Any shout outs?
Absolutely. Yeah. Big shout out to my NC people, Mitch, Justin, Nick, all the people from Underworld, Trevor, Brandon, Jordan, Romeo. Like everybody showed love, and shout out to y'all, Andrew back home too. Big shout out to y'all, all my PA people. JV is behind the camera. Jermaine, my biggest hater, probably crying somewhere right now. Big shouts to him. Everybody who showed love, you know, big shout outs to y'all. Pat over here, my man's. Yeah, and I think that covers most of them. You know who you are.
Yeah, facts. We broke the day 2 curse.
Yes.
And we top 8'd.
Finally.
We did it. All right.
Finally.
All right. Till next time. This is Jay from JNC.